Most people let their emotions control them. They react without thinking, get overwhelmed by stress, and allow frustration to dictate their decisions. But here's the truth. Emotional control is what separates those who thrive from those who struggle. The ability to stay calm under pressure, think clearly in chaos, and manage emotions with precision is a skill that turns ordinary people into leaders. Imagine never letting stress dictate your actions, never saying something you regret in anger, never allowing anxiety to paralyze you. That's the power of emotional intelligence. In this video, you'll learn how to master your emotions, stay in control, and turn stress into strength. Because once you develop this skill, you gain an edge that most people will never have. The danger of impulsive reactions. Reacting impulsively feels natural in the moment, but it often leads to regret. A single emotional outburst can damage relationships, create unnecessary stress, or ruin opportunities. Emotional intelligence isn't about suppressing emotions. It's about managing them effectively. When you control your reactions, you gain power over your choices, your communication, and your overall well-being. Imagine someone receiving criticism at work. The impulsive response? Defensiveness, anger, or shutting down. The emotionally intelligent response? Taking a breath, considering the feedback, and responding calmly. The difference isn't just in how others perceive you. It's in the level of control you have over your own emotions and decisions. Emotions act like fuel. If handled correctly, they can power you forward. If left unchecked, they can burn everything around you. Studies show that those who practice emotional regulation experience lower stress levels, improved clarity, and stronger relationships. Learning how to pause before reacting allows you to navigate life with more balance and mental clarity. Mastering your reactions starts with awareness. The moment you feel triggered, take a step back. Observe your emotions without acting on them immediately. This slight delay gives you time to process the situation with intelligence rather than instinct. And once you understand why emotions work this way, you can start using them to your advantage. Understanding how emotions work. Emotions aren't random. They follow a pattern. When you experience stress, frustration, or excitement, your brain releases chemicals that influence your reactions. The problem? These chemicals trigger immediate responses before your logical brain has time to process them. That's why people often regret things said or done in the heat of the moment. Neuroscience shows that emotions usually peak within the first 6 seconds of being triggered. If you react immediately, you're letting those emotions take the wheel. But if you pause, just for a few seconds, you give your rational mind a chance to regain control. This small delay can be the difference between making a smart decision or an impulsive one. Think about a time you got an email that made you angry. If you responded instantly, your emotions wrote the message, not your logic. But if you took a breath, reread it, and waited, you likely answered in a way that prevented unnecessary conflict. That's emotional intelligence in action, choosing a response instead of reacting on impulse. This is why mindfulness practices like deep breathing or counting before reacting are so effective. They create a buffer between your emotions and your actions, allowing for better judgment. And once you start controlling your emotions instead of letting them control you, the next step is learning how to manage them in a way that improves your life. Strategies for managing emotions. Emotions don't disappear. You either control them or they control you. The first step in emotional mastery is identifying your emotional triggers. What situations, words, or actions set you off? Once you recognize your triggers, you can anticipate them and prepare yourself to respond in a way that aligns with your goals rather than your impulses. One of the most effective strategies for managing emotions is naming them. When you say, "I'm feeling frustrated," instead of acting out that frustration, you create distance between yourself and the emotion. Research shows that simply labeling emotions reduces their intensity, making them easier to handle. Instead of saying, "I'm overwhelmed," try saying, "I'm feeling challenged, and I need a plan." Expressing emotions in a healthy way is just as important. Suppressing feelings doesn't make them go away. It makes them build up until they explode. Instead of bottling things up or reacting aggressively, channel emotions into something productive. Write down your thoughts, talk to someone you trust, or engage in activities that bring clarity and emotional relief. Managing emotions isn't about avoiding them. It's about mastering the way you respond to them. With the right techniques, emotional intelligence becomes a tool for better communication, decision-making, and mental well-being. And once you learn to control emotions, you can start using them as fuel to drive positive change, turning emotions into positive energy. Emotions aren't just obstacles to control. They're energy that can be redirected toward growth. When used correctly, frustration can fuel productivity, sadness can deepen self-awareness, and stress can sharpen focus. The key is learning how to channel emotions into something that benefits you instead of letting them control you. Physical activity is one of the most powerful ways to convert emotional energy. Exercise releases tension, clears the mind, and improves overall well-being. That's why so many high performers turn to movement, whether it's running, lifting weights, or even just stretching, when they need to process strong emotions. Physical action grounds emotional energy, turning stress into strength. Creativity is another powerful tool. Writing, painting, playing music, or even problem-solving activates the brain in a way that channels emotions productively. Some of the greatest works of art, literature, and innovation were born from intense emotional states. Instead of letting emotions overwhelm you, put them to work by creating something meaningful. Lastly, practicing empathy can turn negative emotions into opportunities for connection. Instead of reacting aggressively when someone upsets you, ask yourself, what might they be going through? Shifting focus from your emotional reaction to a broader perspective builds emotional intelligence and deepens relationships. And when you combine this with techniques for managing stress, you create an unshakable emotional foundation. Techniques to avoid stress and anxiety. Stress and anxiety aren't just mental burdens. They affect decision-making, emotional well-being, and even physical health. The good news? You can train your mind to manage them. One of the most effective techniques is controlled breathing. Slowing down your breath signals to your brain that you're safe, instantly reducing stress and improving clarity. Try the 4-7-8 method. Inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 7, and exhale for 8. Another simple yet powerful tool is delaying emotional reactions. When faced with a stressful situation, practice a pause rule. Give yourself 10 to 15 seconds before responding. This prevents knee-jerk reactions and allows your rational mind to step in. High-level negotiators and leaders use this tactic to maintain emotional control and make better decisions. Mantras and affirmations also help reframe stress. Instead of thinking, "This is too much," shift to "I can handle this one step at a time." Words influence emotions, and emotions influence actions. Repeating calming statements strengthens resilience and mental focus. Finally, building daily habits of mindfulness, like journaling, meditation, or even just sitting in silence, creates long-term emotional balance. The more you practice staying present, the less control stress and anxiety will have over you. Mastering these techniques doesn't just improve emotional control, it transforms how you navigate life. And when emotional control becomes second nature, it turns into an undeniable superpower. Emotional control isn't about suppressing feelings, it's about mastering them. The way you handle stress, frustration, and anxiety shapes your decisions, your relationships, and ultimately, your success. If you don't take control of your emotions, they'll control you. So, ask yourself, are my emotions working for me or against me? Starting today, practice pausing before reacting, breathing before speaking, and observing before judging. Small shifts in how you handle emotions will create massive changes in your life. What's one emotional habit you're ready to improve? Drop a comment below and let's talk about it. And if you're serious about becoming unshakable, subscribe and turn on notifications. Emotional intelligence is a superpower. Now it's time for you to use it.